They called themselves the family, but their operations stretched far beyond Sunday school. Everyone thinks cults like the Children of God are a relic of the 70s, confined to dusty communes in America. They're wrong. The truth is, some of their most insidious operations thrived, largely unseen, thousands of miles away in the vibrant chaos of Southeast Asia, particularly Thailand. For decades, while headlines focused on the group's scandalous founder, David Borg, and his controversial doctrines in the West, a different kind of darkness was brewing in places like Chiang Mai and Pattaya. A darkness that exploited vulnerability, poverty, and a culture of hospitality. The Children of God, later known as the Family International, didn't just recruit Western idealists. They actively sought out the disenfranchised, the young, and the impressionable in their adopted homes, weaving them into a complex web of faith, control, and exploitation. At 3:14 a.m., the humid Bangkok air hung heavy. A faded neon sign for a guest house flickered, casting long, shifting shadows. Inside, a young Western disciple might be preparing for another day of witnessing, their passport tucked away, their true identity slowly eroding. This wasn't just about spreading a message. It was about building a self-sustaining empire, fueled by dubious donations, a pervasive love-bombing recruitment technique, and most chillingly, the systematic indoctrination of children born within the group. David Borg, or Moses David, as he was known to his followers, preached a doctrine of flirty fishing using sexual encounters to recruit new members and secure resources. In Thailand, this took on an especially dark hue, blurring lines between missionary work and exploitation. The group's structure in Thailand was often decentralized, operating out of unassuming colonies, rented houses, or apartments, often blending in with local communities. This made them difficult to track, difficult to expose, and even harder to dismantle. Former members recall a life of constant movement, shifting locations to avoid scrutiny. One day, a bustling city. The next, a remote village. Always under the watchful eye of elders, their every action, every thought meticulously controlled. The concept of Mo letters, Borg's prolific, often sexually explicit, and increasingly bizarre writings became the holy scripture. These letters dictated everything from daily life to the most intimate aspects of human relationships, twisting morality to fit his agenda. Children born into the family, known as royal kids, were particularly vulnerable. They knew no other life. Their education was often sporadic, their worldview shaped entirely by Borg's doctrines, isolating them from mainstream society. These children were taught to fear the system, the outside world, and to see themselves as part of a chosen, special group. This created an unbreakable bond of loyalty, making escape almost unimaginable for many. The Thai authorities, for a long time, struggled to grasp the true nature of the family's operations. Cultural differences, language barriers, and the group's ability to present themselves as benign missionaries often allowed them to operate under the radar. However, whispers began to spread. Stories of unusual communal living, of children not attending local schools, and of an almost obsessive secrecy. These whispers eventually reached the ears of those willing to listen. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, as former members began to speak out globally, the focus shifted. Thailand, along with other Southeast Asian nations, was identified as a key location for the group's continued activities and potential abuses. The internet, ironically, became a powerful tool for both the family to recruit and for survivors to connect. Support groups formed, sharing information, piecing together the fragmented narrative of their lives within the cult. One particularly disturbing aspect was the system of dating within the group, often encouraging relationships between adults and minors. This was justified by Borg's child love teachings, a perversion of spiritual love. Ili, a former member who spent his formative years in a Thai colony, recounted the constant fear of being rebellious. Even a questioning glance could lead to public shaming or isolation, reinforcing the rigid hierarchy. He described the interior of their commune, a wide establishing shot of a cramped, shared living space, clothes hanging to dry, the air thick with incense and unspoken rules. Every corner held a memory of surveillance. Close up on Daniel, as he slides into the booth opposite Ali, their eyes meeting in a shared, silent understanding. He recalled the desperation for external contact, a brief conversation with a local vendor feeling like a lifeline. Soft 3/4 backlight from an overhead pendant rims his hair in warm gold. Midnight indigo shadow fills the rest of the diner. It's a visual metaphor for the sliver of hope that eventually led many to break free. Despite Borg's death in 1994, the Family International continued to operate. His successor, Karen Zerby, known as Maria, maintained many of the core doctrines, though with attempts to rebrand and distance themselves from past controversies. Today, while the overt presence of the family in Thailand may have diminished, the long-term impact on its survivors remains profound. The unseen operations left indelible scars, a testament to the enduring power of cultic control. The story of the children of God in Thailand isn't just a historical footnote. It's a stark reminder that vulnerability knows no borders, and that the shadows of manipulative organizations can stretch across continents, impacting lives in ways we rarely see. Understanding these hidden histories is crucial to recognizing the signs of exploitation,